Fine then, just let me try it. This is what I did, right? This is what I did, right? This is exactly what I did. I said, ring, 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 ring. Tried it again. Ring, 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 ring. This is what I did, right? Ring, 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 ring. I tried for like 9 days to get a hold of Rush Limbaugh. So I listened to Rush Limbaugh, and he was talking about how predatory the drive-by media is. And I was listening to him on the radio one day while I was fishing. He was saying how predatory they are. They're part of the regime. They're sold out. They're bought by, and all this. And that's rank, you know. And that's rank, you know. So anyways, I was fishing. There's this little lake called Zambezi Lake in South Carolina. And I was just fishing there. You know, I was trying to reach this guy, Rush, and I could not get through for nothing. You know, so I decided, well, let me at least just speak it out in case Rush gets on YouTube, you know. Because I wanted to respond to that predatory deal with the drive-by media, because at Zambezi Lake, there's a sign there. There's a sign posted right there at the shoreline of the lake in South Carolina at Zambezi Lake. And there's a chief there. There's like some kind of like a tribal group, you know, that manages this lake down there. Some Indian tribe or something. And I was looking at it, and I went up to ask him what that sign meant. And he told me this, okay? That's why I wanted to talk to Rush. He said, the lions, they gather at the lake to drink. And the lions, then they go to the village and they eat the people. And then they come back the next day and do it again. I was kind of disturbed by that, because I'm trying to fish and I don't really know. You know, I can't tell what these tribal people are talking about. And then so I asked him why they allow this, you know, I mean, really, for real. And he said, well, the tourists come to see the lions, and the tourists, they pay the villagers. And he went on to say, we use this money from the tourists to buy corn on the cob. Okay, it sounds pretty good, except for getting eaten. So he says, you know, if we were to fence this lake off or not allow the lions to drink from the lake, well, then they would not come back to drink, and then we would not have corn on the cob, because of the tourists would not show up. And I added that, well, they also wouldn't eat the villagers, right? He responded to me and said, well, if the tourists did not come to watch an empty lake, then we won't get our corn on the cob, because they won't pay us to watch an empty lake. So anyways, I'm staring at the sign again, this lake of disinformation. And it seemed like I just got a whole bunch of it. But there was this little short guy there. He was from Ireland, and he had this hat on. It was kind of crooked. And he had his shoes. They had these little curly Q things on the bottom. And he had this long beard, and mustache, and big ears. You know, he looked kind of old. And he looked up at me and said, the lions are the drive-by media. And the networks is the lake. The telecommunications, the infrastructure, television, radio, newspapers, magazines, billboards, etc. And the fence around the lake is where you have a gatekeeper. He's the one who permits advertising dollars to be spent by big corporations like General Motors and big pharmaceuticals and Ford and food companies and food distribution and ice cream and mayonnaise and cable TV, and all these advertisers go through the gatekeeper. And then he goes on to explain, from what the tribal leader had told me, that the tourists are the ones who buy the products that are advertised. And the village are the ones who own America, the public. That was pretty awesome because I get it now. I get it. So you've got the media, the drive-by media have these programs where they push all this programming and this propaganda within it, you know, and the advertisers are some of the big corporations who pay these guys money so that they can do their show, so that they can also hear about their products. Had it all prepared. Maybe this is Rush. No, it's not Rush. Yeah. So now that I'm on to something, I wrote it down for Rush Limbaugh. Oh, just somebody else. That's all it is. Anyways, yeah, so this is what my scripted for Rush. The drive-by media produces disinformation and pushes it to the minds of the viewers over a network that is funded by the big corporations who advertise on the drive-by media programs in hopes that the viewers will buy the products that they advertise. See, so now we've got the strategy going on with Rush where we can actually shut them down. All we got to do is like boycott these big corporations, and then the programs that are on won't have the money to fund to pay these reporters who just go grab everything spoon-fed from the regime, as Rush calls it, and they'll be out of business. So what I did is I decided I'd go ahead and find out which corporations are paying big bucks on the drive-by media programs, because those are the ones that need to be boycotted by us, the public, the ones who own the lake, so to speak, right? Because this is all fitting together real good. And it turns out I got this small list. It's New York Times, commercial about being energy efficient, Anderson Cooper, who's keeping everybody honest, Purina Cat Chow. I didn't realize they were liberal. 21st Century Car Insurance. I'll switch my insurance to Allstate. Yeah. Best Western Hotels. A New American Classic Movie. The Master. They're promoting The Master. Korean Airlines. Are you spotting? Do you have menopause? Are you bloated? That's the CDC government. I don't have any of those types of issues myself. There's a CNN program promo about being big and rich. And Piers Morgan about Democrat versus Republican. It's probably going to talk about, all they do is bash Romney forever. Whether or not it's reasonable or not, that's all they do. And then there's an advertisement for Jimmy Swaggert Ministries on demand through Xfinity. Tidycat odor erasers. Oh wow, Purina Dog Chow, Purina Cat Chow, Tidycat. I think we're on to something. Zyrtec allergy relief. I'm almost done with this list. A wireless Instabulbs. Meineke car brakes. Xfinity's in there again with live sports. We've got to boycott all these. Medicare. Are you tired of negative ads and political spin? AARP for the voters. Go there and read some brochure about how bad Romney is, probably. Blue Plate mayonnaise. Scooter chairs. You can get them for free through Medicare. Cisco routers. I mean, you know, natural gas is affordable and clean, and it's paid for by, and some number flashes by the screen. I didn't see it. Hyundai selling the 2012 Sonatas. Then there's Obama approves this message about how stinky Romney is, but Obama is moving forward. Then there's this, they start repeating these commercials, spotting, menopause, bloated. And then there's a feature on how Romney is stingy, plus Harry Reid accusations. So those are the companies or the promotions that are going on, some of which are not paid for. I mean, they're like doing some of them for free, you know. Which ones, I don't know. But anyway, just say they're all paid for. We have to boycott all these places, okay? Because if we boycott them all, then we're onto something. So I figured, well, I better go look at at how hard it is to boycott, say for example, natural gas. I mean, I got like one or two choices, or Cisco routers. I mean, you'll find those routers like at ATMs and stuff, you know, where I go to put my money in. I'm not sure I can boycott them, you know, because they're sort of like integrated into all sorts of stuff. Same thing with Xfinity. I mean, you know, you watch the sports channel, Xfinity, it's on all the channels. I'm not sure I'm going to boycott them, but it is the big corporations funding it. So I just sat there and I was looking over and I noticed that where it said disinformation, there was a little sign below it that said, beware of lions and tigers. And the problem is, it was the lions that were drinking from the lake. And it was the lions who were eating the villagers. Why would they say beware of lions and tigers? So I went back to that little guy, which I identify him as a leprechaun, by the way. I went back to the little guy, and I found him over by that sign again. His feet were all muddy. I mean, he's like wandering around there. I don't understand why a leprechaun would be in South Carolina at a little Zambamweezy lake, you know. But anyways, I asked him, why does that sign say beware of lions and tigers? Who are the tigers? And he kind of snickered a little bit, and he told me, you know, the tigers are the right, and the lions are the left. And apparently, that lake is utilized by both. Duh, that's what Fox News is, right? So I go, oh yeah, I guess I better see who's advertising for Fox. You know? Well, it turns out it's Phillips something or other about colons. Take these pills and make your colon feel better. There was a feel-good film, Pradaxa, serious side effects. It could cause you to, you know, like die or puke or go blind. And you call this Lawfirm if you want to sue them. Empire installation sales, first-class medical oxygen concentrators, makes an asthmatic mobile, you know. Another movie promo, Ruby Tuesdays, Palmer's Cocoa Butter, Skinny, skin therapy, 20 million jobs, you know, you can get it through Devri University. If you got back pain or disc problems, go to Medicare, you know. DDS 500 is an allied home medical program of some kind. If you got Mesothelioma, you've got Johnson Law Group, they'll help you to evaluate and sue. Regens, a partner for moving forward. I thought that was NLP for the drive-by media people. Anyways, they're moving forward through Regens. And then talking about Visit Alaska, BeyondYourDreams.com. American Freight Furniture, term life insurance through Select Quote, Phillips light bulbs. The future of Medicare. Earn to say it's an AARP statement. I thought that AARP was being pushed. Yeah, Medicare, tired of negative ads and political spin on the left. And then there's AARP over here, the future of Medicare, and to say whatever it is you want. It's like they're appealing to both sides. 1-800-Mesothelioma with cancer again. Reverse mortgages from Henry Winkler. It's so great, you know, if you own a house but you don't have any cash flow, you can actually sort of put your house up and then the banks will pay you every month and you still own your home. It's so wonderful. But it's like when I started, I had $100,000 in equity and it was worth $100,000. They've been paying me every month and I'm so happy that I've got this reverse mortgage. And then after like say 10 or 15 years, I've got like $2 in equity left. I don't really own it anymore. I done spent all my kids' inheritance. But that's supposed to be on the good guy's side. I'm not quite getting it. Another 1-800-Mesothelioma movie promo through Blu-ray. I thought that Blu-ray movie promo was, oh, they're doing it on both sides. Humana, Medicare enhancements, Fungi Care, if you've got finger and toe problems, Bobcat utility trucks, 2016 Obama's a bad dude, a movie to bash Obama. It could be true. Refinance your house again. Portable oxygen tanks through Medicare. They're pushing Medicare over here and over there. Merit Financial, buy silver and gold. All the central banks are doing it. Why is the central bank buying gold? I'd buy it if I had the money to buy it, but I got to buy food. I can't really afford to buy gold. personally, like about a billion, about 100,000, 275 million people. There's 25 million that can buy the gold up. On a Crimea River on the violin. Hey, it's just reality. And then Xfinity, of course, on demand, promoting certain movies. So I look at this whole list to find out which corporations I can, and I really can't find much, you know. I can't find which corporation needs to be, I need to stop buying products from in order to force the lions out of the lake. And then I just thought of something that doesn't do anything for the tigers. It's like all corporations, anybody who's funding anything on television. You know, if you don't like the show, you're going to boycott that. That's it. You just have to write down the ones you don't like and start boycotting it. And eventually, we'll get to the point where 50% of the country is boycotting these, and 50% of the country is boycotting these. And maybe they'll get the picture that if we were to unite together and boycott all of them, then we'd put them out of business. Yeah, we'd put them out of business. True story, submarine, and going places I don't want to go. This one guy on there decided to just stop working. He just decided to stop doing it. They took him to captain's mast, you know, tell him we're going to throw him, we're going to make him work in the bilges or throw him in the brig. And he said, you can throw me in the bilge, but I ain't doing no work. And they threw him in the brig, finally. And then the yeoman down there came and visited him like after a day or two and said, what did you do wrong? And he said, I didn't do anything wrong. I just told him I wasn't going to work anymore. So they let him out of the service with benefits. And the reason for letting him out was unsuitability. He was unsuitable for the submarine. He didn't break any of their rules. Well, if we just stop working, what are we going to do instead? Maybe we can kick the lions and the tigers without firing a shot. I don't need to talk to Rush anymore.